That is the NFL's Season 1 era beginning, and that is Anthony Davis down there in Dallas. His first action back since the trade that sent Luka out to L.A. First quarter, AD went right to work. His first home buckets, got it. Mavs up a 3 spot. Remember, he hasn't really been rocking since that abs train back late January, but same quarter, he went up. He'll finish. And he just wants everybody to remember who this dude is, Anthony Davis. What's his message?
Like I said in the press conference, letting Dallas fans know what they got, in a player like me. So it's a little friendly reminder of, who Anthony Davis is.
I mean, for the last week, all he's been able to read and hear and listen to is, you traded Luka for who and for what, and we didn't get max return. Well, how about 11 consecutive points in the first? He had 14 in the first frame. Only Luka, the only other Mavericks player with a better first quarter since 96-97. Mavs were up 13 this in the second quarter. Remember the whole, hey, defense is going to win us championships? Off the glass, Jalen Green blew by him, but AD right there to make him reconsider. Same quarter, Kyrie to AD. This is going to be a lethal combo once they get stuff clicking in their first game together. Looks pretty good. Davis, first player with 20 points, 10 boards, 5 dimes, and 3 blocks in a half since 97-98. The second half came, third quarter. Anthony Davis spot shadowed for a reason. Remember, he had the abs train just about 2 weeks ago. He went down non-contact there. He did leave the game. He did not return. The Mavericks do get the win in his debut, and he did speak with media afterward and say, hey, it's not that bad. Remember, I had the abs train. Let's dive deeper into that with NBA reporter Tim McMahon. Was at the game last night. Tim, what more can you tell us about AD's injury?
Howdy, Gary. The Mavericks were like NHL kind of vague with this. They called it a lower body injury. AD was able to give us some more specifics. It's the area between his groin and quad. Said it was just tightness. He felt tightness there. Went down to the basement practice court in the American Airlines Center. Tried to get it loosened up. Couldn't feel it loosening up, so they decided not to take the risk. He'll come in today. He'll get treatment, go through some work, and they'll go from there. But like you said, he told us it was nothing serious. I'm fine is what he said. And I can tell you that when he was leaving the arena last night, still a sunny late afternoon in Dallas, he was not walking with a limp. There was no sign of a limp. So obviously that was a good sign.
And now the big question is, how is Dallas going to handle this injury? Because it is the Mavericks right now in a playoff spot and obviously fighting for position out in the stacked and deep Western Conference. So how do they handle it?
I mean, certainly they'll err on the side of caution. They're not going to rush him back and risk a significant injury if they feel like there is that risk. He told us that he would be taking it one day at a time. And he wasn't the only key guy to get injured last night. P.J. Washington went down in the first half with an ankle injury. So a banged-up Mavericks team going in the last few days before the All-Star break.
Sure. Tomorrow, the Mavericks host the Sacramento Kings out there in Dallas. Tim McMahon joining us this morning on Sportscenter with the latest from Dallas.
Tatum and the Celtics paying a visit to the Knicks. First possession of the game. Oh, we should have seen it coming.
Oh.
Tatum.
Oh.
Precious Achiuwa could have made the business decision and gotten out of their way, except he didn't. And then this happened middle of the second. Tatum one-on-one with old Precious. And
Precious.
That's going to be a 3.
Where was he going?
The problem is, this is not like the first event or events for Precious this week, because on Monday against the Rockets, Amen Thompson absolutely broke his ankles and then did that. So Precious is having a bit of a tough week. Back to the game. Late second quarter, Celtics up 15. Ball movement. Sharing's caring. How many passes? Glad we're counting, because they're going to get to 5. Jaylen Brown ends up with it and then dunks. He had 12 points. Celtics up 13 at the half. We're now in the third. Celtics up 16. Tatum, that's a 3. Celtics up 19. He had 19 points in the third because he made 7 threes. 7th career 40-point game. Second most in franchise history for Tatum. Celtics won a lot to a little.
All right, on the other coast, it was the Austin Reaves show for the Lakers against the Pacers because no LeBron, no Luka. Here's what J.J. Redick said to Austin before the game.
I joked with him before the game. I said, did Bron talk to you? He said, yeah, Bron called me last night, told me he's going to be out. I said we probably need a 38-8-8 game, from you.
And you know what Austin said? Hold that thought. Because he came out going straight to work. How about that little crossover to the 3? Luka LeBron's like, that's our teammate. And here's the deal. Austin Reaves, at one point, didn't know if he was going to play in the game because he's got a sore elbow. Well, it was even more so after this game because he had 20 in the first half, and the Lakers were up 66-50. Let's jump to the fourth quarter now. It's a 13-point lead for LA. Reaves with the steal and the finish. That's a career-high 39 points. Third 30-point game of the season for him. He had 3 total his entire career prior to this season, but he was not done. To the rack for 41. Next possession.
45-7-7 will do. That'll do. So he played awesome.
Yeah, he had 14 of those in the fourth quarter, and the Lakers win it 124-117. One other note on the Lakers. Remember that trade that sent rookie Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, and some draft picks to the Hornets in exchange for Mark Williams? Well, that trade no longer exists. Sources tell ESPN the trade was rescinded after the Lakers brought up multiple issues with Williams and his physical.
So, Lakers adjacent, you know what the Mavericks fans didn't need to see? This. In his first game in a Mavericks uniform, Anthony Davis goes out with what the team is calling a lower body injury. Was he great before? Yeah, he was, but this is the unwanted shiny new toy who says his job is to bring hope to the franchise that made it to the NBA Finals a season ago. So now what? Here's Tim McMahon.
Anthony Davis rocked the rim for his 4th bucket in his first 4+ minutes in a Mavericks uniform, chest bumped a couple of teammates, waved his arms to work the crowd into a frenzy, and pointed at the American Airlines Center court before delivering a message. "I'm here," AD shouted. He understands how devastated Dallas fans are by losing Luka Doncic in the trade with the Lakers. 1,000 or so people protested outside the arena before Saturday afternoon's game. Many calling for Mavs GM Nico Harrison be fired. Davis welcomed himself to Dallas with a dominant performance, calling it, quote, a friendly little reminder of who Anthony Davis is. Unfortunately, his day ended early. He exited late in the third quarter due to what he described as tightness between his groin and quad. "It's nothing serious," AD said. "I'll be fine." In Dallas, Tim McMahon, ESPN.
I'm not sure this is breaking news, but Anthony Davis has an injury history, and we've talked about it a lot, except for he has turned a corner, because since the start of last season, he has played in 123 out of a possible 137 games before the abdominal injury caused him to miss the last 5, and before he was injured again tonight.
Sportscenter. All right, what about the first game here for Jimmy Butler in a Golden State Warriors uniform? He's back in a familiar place. Chicago, remember he played for the Bulls. He's actually got a new name on his jersey. It's Butler the Third. He's playing on the 1-year anniversary of his dad's passing. So there was an emotional night. He said life kind of comes full circle sometimes. And Buddy Hield finding Butler his first points for the Dubs. Here he is on fitting in with Steph Curry.
Pass the ball to Steph and get out the way. Easy.
All right, that's the plan. And here's why Steph Curry shows that is a good way to play the game. I mean, the body language. Listen, the Dubs were down by 24 points at one point, and it helps when you have Steph who can erase that all by himself. That's another triple, and then stepping back, hitting that thing from Highland Park. Maybe Fort Sheridan. Shout out Fairman family. I mean, 5th game this season. I got family up there. Don't worry about it. I heard. Where he's made 8 or more threes. He had 24 points in the third quarter. His most in a quarter in the last 3 seasons. My cousins, Pete and Mike, they can shoot pretty well, too. All right, fourth quarter, it's Green to Butler.
Now you're just
everyone was talking about, you know what, Uncle Dave, he could shoot, too. Everyone was talking about Draymond and Jimmy coexisting. It worked really well, and Steve Kerr said the strength, the skill, just his presence out there. He's a lion.
Game.
He's a force. It's a 10-point lead. Butler, again, 25 points. First dub to have 25 or more in his debut since Kevin Durant. That was back in 2016. That'll work. Listen, Cousin Annie and Tracy, they could also shoot. Let's be real. Steph went for 34. Jimmy the 25. Dubs get the win. They come all the way back from that 24-point deficit. It's 132-111. You look at Butler, and you look at all of the teams he's played for. Did you blink and miss the Sixers era? Did you blink and miss the Timberwolves era? Look at debuts in 17, 18, and 19, and he bested it all last night. 25 points there with the Warriors. Again, that's Kevin Durant territory back in 2016. Bam. That is legit. All right, best performance, Austin Reaves. Listen, there was obviously no Luka, there's no LeBron. Reaves did it all.
Don't hate him.
He had 45 points for the headband hero. 7 boards, 7 assists. My God, that's Austin's music. Lakers 124-117 without their 2 stars. Although Austin might be that star. That Lakers locker room might be a little awkward for a few days. Dalton Connect is headed back to L.A. after the Lakers announced their trade with Charlotte for Mark Williams has been rescinded. Sources telling ESPN's Shams Charania that the Hornets center failed his physical. And because the trade deadline has passed, the trade can't be amended, so pick swaps are voided. Williams stays with the Hornets. Connect is headed back to the Lakers. Hey, great.